At 8:12 a.m., Daniel's phone began vibrating across the nightstand. Once, twice, then non-stop. He reached for it without opening his eyes. 17 missed calls, 31 emails, multiple messages marked urgent, the same subject line repeated over and over. Urgent, ownership update. Fully awake now, he sat up slowly. That word didn't belong to anyone else. He owned the company. He controlled the board. He made the rules. He opened the first email. Corporate header. Legal formatting. Attached documentation. He scrolled. Effective immediately. Controlling shares have been transferred. Transferred. Daniel blinked. Transferred to whom? He checked the sender. Internal Legal Department. Timestamp. 2:17 a.m. While he was asleep. Or worse, while he believed he was untouchable. This wasn't a rumor. It was official. His chest tightened as he opened the attachment. Digital signatures. Board confirmation. Clause activation reference. Everything looked clean. Professional. Final. He searched for the percentage breakdown. 51%. Majority control. Gone. Reassigned. He felt something unfamiliar crawl up his spine. Not anger. Uncertainty. He scrolled down to the line labeled New Majority Holder and suddenly hesitated, because reading the name would make it real. His phone rang. CFO. Daniel answered immediately. What is this? The voice on the other end sounded strained. Sir, the board executed an emergency clause. That clause requires my approval. It did. Daniel stood up from the bed. What does that mean? Another pause. It means the voting structure changed at 2 a.m. Silence filled the room. Changed how? You are no longer the controlling shareholder. Daniel walked toward the window. This is a mistake, he said. No, sir, the CFO replied carefully. There was a long-term acquisition through secondary holding groups, shell companies, layered ownership, gradual percentage increases, small enough not to trigger alerts, until the final transfer pushed it over 50%. Daniel's jaw tightened. Someone had been buying pieces of his empire, quietly, patiently, right under his nose. Who? Daniel asked. The CFO hesitated. The shares now belonged to Elena V. Morozova. The name felt absurd. Elena who? Sir, the woman from last night. The restaurant flashed in his memory. The spilled wine. The humiliation. Her calm expression. She's a waitress, Daniel said. No, sir, the CFO replied. She is now the majority owner of your company. Daniel ended the call without another word. He opened the internal executive portal. Access denied. He refreshed. Access denied. He tried the board dashboard. Restricted. A notification appeared at the top of the screen. Leadership transition in progress. Transition. He let out a short, disbelieving laugh. This wasn't transition. This was replacement. And it had happened overnight. Without noise. Without warning. Without him seeing it coming. His phone rang again. Unknown number. He stared at it. It rang a second time, then a third. He answered. A calm female voice responded. Good morning, Mr. Carter. He recognized it instantly. The quiet tone. The controlled rhythm. Elena. Yes, no anger in her voice, no emotion at all. I assume you've seen the update. Daniel tightened his grip on the phone. You set this up? I executed an option that existed for years, she replied. That's impossible. No, she said gently. It required patience. He looked at the skyline below. You were serving tables. I was observing, she corrected. You mistake visibility for power. Her words were calm, precise, unshakable. In business, she added, the loudest voice rarely owns the room. Daniel felt the balance shift, not gradually, completely. What do you want? He asked. There was a brief pause. Correction, Elena said. For years, you leveraged people who underestimated you. That's how power works. No, she replied. That's how arrogance works. Silence stretched between them. You humiliated someone you thought was insignificant. And now? He asked. Now, she said calmly, you will learn what ownership actually means. Daniel swallowed. You destroyed my control over a personal issue. This was never personal, Elena replied. It was structural. He frowned. You're talking like this was business. It always was. She let the silence sit. You built your empire on leverage, on pressure, on clauses people didn't read. His grip tightened. And you think you're different? No, she said evenly. I just read everything. Daniel walked across the penthouse, mind racing. You planned this for years? Yes. Why? A pause. Because control without accountability collapses. That's philosophy. No, she corrected. It's governance. He exhaled sharply. You could have approached me, and you would have listened. He didn't answer. The silence was enough. Check the board vote, Elena continued. Daniel opened his email again. Attached. Voting confirmation. Unanimous. Even members he personally appointed. They wouldn't betray me. They didn't, she said calmly. They followed the majority. He scrolled further. Performance audit. Risk exposure report. Hidden liabilities. All documented. All signed. All legally actionable. You boxed yourself in, she said quietly. I simply closed the lid. Daniel stopped near the glass wall overlooking the city. You think you've won? This isn't a game. It feels like one. No, Elena replied. It's correction. His phone buzzed again. Market alert. Share price volatility. Media inquiries pending statement. The news was spreading. Fast. Did you leak this? I didn't have to, she said. Transparency travels on its own. You're ruining investor confidence, Daniel snapped. No, she said. I'm stabilizing it. How? By removing unpredictable leadership. The words hit harder than expected. Unpredictable. You make decisions emotionally when challenged. That's called dominance. It's called liability. Silence again. You built power vertically, she added. I built it laterally. He felt the shift again. Not loud, but absolute. Daniel lowered his voice. What do you want from me? For now? Yes, nothing. That unsettled him more than a demand would have. No payout? No. No negotiation. Not today. Then what? Reflection. He almost laughed. You think this is a lesson? No, she replied. It's a transition. The same word from the system banner. Now it felt personal. I can fight this, Daniel said finally. You can try. I have lawyers. So do I. I have influence. So did you. The past tense again. He felt it. The loss of altitude. You underestimated someone, she continued. You confused position with power. And you didn't? No, she said. I never showed mine. Daniel's screen lit up with a breaking news alert. Major corporate leadership shift, majority stake transferred overnight. It was public now. There was no hiding it. You timed this, he said slowly. Yes. Why today? A small pause. Because last night confirmed something. What? That you still believe status equals superiority. He closed his eyes briefly. This is revenge. No, she said softly. It's succession. The word lingered. Succession. You were always part of the structure, she continued. You just didn't look up. He tried to process that. What structure? The parent holding. Daniel's mind searched backward. Years ago. An early investor. A silent partner. Minority stake at the time. Elena. He began slowly. Yes, my last name isn't random. The pieces began to move. You're connected to the original capital, Daniel said. Yes. Family? Strategic inheritance. The calm precision in her tone unsettled him. You let me build this. I observed your methods. And waited. Yes. For what? For proof. Proof of what? That you would eventually believe you were untouchable. Silence filled the line again. At 8:32 a.m., Daniel understood something clearly for the first time. This was never about a waitress. Daniel's reflections stared back at him in the glass. You were watching me the entire time. Yes. From where? From the layer above yours. He let that sink in. You hid behind intermediaries. I operated through governance. He exhaled slowly. You let me believe I was the highest authority. You were, she replied. Operationally, the distinction was surgical. And strategically? A brief pause. You were temporary. His pulse steadied. Anger was useless now. So what happens next? The board meets at noon. And I'm excluded? You're invited. That surprised him. In what capacity? Advisor. The word felt smaller than it should have. I built this company. Yes, and you'll be compensated accordingly. This is a demotion. No, Elena said calmly. It's recalibration. Daniel walked back toward the bedroom, mind shifting gears. If you wanted control, you could have forced me out entirely. I could have, but you didn't. No. Why? Another pause. Because removal creates resistance. And this doesn't? This creates structure. He considered that. You still need me. Yes. The honesty caught him off guard. But not above the system, she added. Last night, Daniel said slowly. Was that intentional? The restaurant? Yes. No. He frowned. I didn't plan to meet you there. But you recognized me. Of course. And you said nothing. I was curious. About what? How you behave when no one benefits you. The memory burned. The dismissive tone. The casual humiliation. You answered my question, she said quietly. Daniel closed his eyes briefly. So this morning was the consequence? No, Elena replied. This morning was scheduled months ago. That made it worse. You were going to take control anyway. Yes. And last night? Last night confirmed the timing was correct. He leaned against the wall. You enjoyed it? No, she said evenly. I don't operate emotionally. He believed her. That unsettled him more than anger would have. His phone buzzed again. Board agenda delivered. New CEO appointment vote. Daniel's name wasn't listed. You're replacing me today, he said. Yes. With who? A pause. With me. The simplicity of it stunned him. You're stepping in directly. Yes. You've never been public. I don't need to be, she replied. Leadership isn't performance. Daniel laughed softly. You think they'll accept you? They already have. You don't know the pressure. I design the pressure. He felt the shift again. Every time he tried to regain footing, the ground moved first. You've underestimated something, he said. What? My resilience. I'm counting on it, Elena replied. You're more useful adaptive than defensive. He checked the market feed again. Shares stabilizing. Commentary neutral. Some analysts calling it strategic restructuring. You controlled the narrative. Yes. By preparing it in advance. Press statements. Investor briefings. Private calls before public release. You moved before I even woke up. Yes. The precision was absolute. You left me no angle. I left you one, she corrected. What angle? Growth. He almost scoffed. You stripped my authority. I removed your unchecked authority. And expect me to stay? Yes. Why would I? Because you care about the company. He didn't answer. You built it, she continued. You won't burn it. She understood him. That realization felt invasive. The clock read 8:47 a.m. In 30 minutes, headlines would fully circulate. In 3 hours, the board would vote. You've already won, Daniel said quietly. This isn't about winning. It feels like it. No, she replied. It's about sustainability. He stared at the skyline again. For years, he believed he was the ceiling. Now he understood something colder. He had only ever been the visible layer. And above him, someone had been building longer. Daniel's breathing finally slowed. If I refuse the advisor role, you won't, Elena replied. That's not an answer. It is. He almost smiled. You're very certain. I study patterns. And I'm predictable. In stress, yes. He leaned forward, elbows on the counter. You think I'll choose legacy over ego? Yes. Silence. And if I don't, then you confirm I was right to act. He checked his messages again. Executives asking for guidance. Investors requesting clarification. Media waiting for comment. They still look to me, Daniel said. For now, you're moving fast. Momentum matters. You planned every angle. Yes. He noticed something unsettling. She wasn't defending herself. She wasn't attacking. She was simply executing. You said I was temporary, Daniel said. Yes. Everyone is. Not everyone builds as if they're permanent. That landed. You expanded aggressively, she continued. High leverage, high exposure. It worked. Until it didn't. He frowned. What are you seeing that I'm not? Macro shifts. Be specific. Regulatory tightening. Capital contraction. Political scrutiny. She paused. You were expanding into a storm. Daniel walked back to his desk and opened financial projections. She wasn't wrong. Debt ratios were rising. Risk buffers thinning. You were going to intervene eventually, he said. Yes. With or without last night. He leaned back in his chair. You let me climb high enough to feel invincible. I let you reveal your threshold. Meaning? How you behave when no one challenges you. He remembered every aggressive acquisition, every pressured negotiation, every executive he replaced without hesitation. You think I became reckless. I think you became insulated. That's the same thing. No, she said calmly. Reckless is impulsive and insulated. Deaf. The word echoed. Deaf to warnings. Deaf to dissent. Deaf to consequences. The phone was quiet now. Too quiet. You've already spoken to the senior team, Daniel said. Yes, they agreed. They agreed with stability. And I wasn't stable. You were dominant. He almost laughed again. You keep reframing everything. I'm redefining it, she corrected. That's what new leadership does. The phrase sounded final. What do you expect at noon? He asked. A smooth transition. And if I walk in and challenge the vote, you'll lose. Confident. Prepared. He appreciated that distinction. You don't hate me, Daniel observed. No. Then why does this feel personal? Because power feels personal when it leaves. He didn't respond. She was right. You said this wasn't about a waitress, he said quietly. It wasn't. That you chose that role. Yes. To see who you are without an audience. And you perform for equals. You dismiss those beneath you. He inhaled slowly. That's how hierarchy works. No, she replied. That's how insecurity works. The words didn't sound cruel. They sounded diagnostic. The sun was higher now. 8:59 a.m. One more question, Daniel said. Yes. If I had treated you differently last night, would this feel different? A pause longer than the others. It would feel cleaner, she answered. But the outcome? Unchanged. That stung in a different way. So I was losing either way. No, she said. You were transitioning. Daniel straightened his posture. Then let's be clear. Yes. I'm not resigning quietly. I don't expect you to. I will challenge decisions. I will push back. Good. He narrowed his eyes. That's what you want? Yes. Why? Because a company doesn't need obedience. And what does it need? Friction. She replied calmly. Structured, measured, productive friction. For the first time that morning, Daniel smiled. 9:07 a.m. The city was fully awake now. Daniel adjusted his jacket slowly. You planned the takeover? Yes. You controlled the board? Yes. You shaped the narrative? Yes. He nodded once. Then here's my last question before noon. I'm listening. What happens if I outperform you? A brief silence. Then the company wins. And you? I don't build for ego. He stepped toward the elevator. Send me the full restructuring plan. It's already in your inbox. He checked. Detailed strategy. Debt restructuring. Expansion freeze. Regulatory alignment roadmap. It was thorough. Painfully thorough. You've been running simulations for months. Yes. Without telling me. Yes. That's betrayal. That's oversight. Daniel paused before entering the elevator. You could have warned me. I did. When? 3 quarters ago. Board memo, risk advisory. He remembered dismissing it, calling it overly cautious. You ignored it, she said evenly. He said nothing. Leadership isn't about being feared, she added. It's about being heard. The doors slid open. Inside the elevator, Daniel stared at his reflection again. For years, it had reflected certainty. Today, it reflected recalculation. You're not afraid, he said quietly into the phone. No. Why? Because I'm not improvising. He exhaled slowly. I was. Yes. The elevator descended floor by floor. Each level felt symbolic. Not falling. Repositioning. What if I walk into that boardroom and resign? You won't. You keep saying that because you don't quit structures you built. And if I surprise you, you won't. Her certainty wasn't arrogance. It was assessment. You've studied me that closely. Yes. And what's my defining trait? A short pause. Ambition. The elevator reached the lobby. Reporters were already gathering outside. Cameras, microphones, speculation buzzing. You staged this perfectly, Daniel said. I scheduled it precisely. He walked toward the exit. If I speak first, choose your words carefully. Is that a threat? No. It's advice. He stopped at the glass doors. What would you say? The truth, she replied. And what is the truth? That growth without restraint becomes risk. That's abstract. Then say this, she continued. Today marks the evolution of leadership. He almost smiled. You wrote my statement too. I drafted options. He shook his head slightly. You really did think of everything. No, she said calmly. I prepared for most outcomes. Daniel stepped outside. Cameras turned instantly. Daniel, is it true? Are you stepping down? Who controls the company now? He held up a hand. Silence slowly formed. His phone was still connected. Elena, he said quietly. You're listening? Yes. Good. He looked directly at the cameras. For the first time that morning, he didn't feel dethroned. He felt challenged. Today, Daniel began, marks a structural evolution within our company. Reporters leaned closer. We are transitioning leadership to strengthen long-term stability. No denial. No anger. No panic, just control. Effective immediately, the board has appointed a new chief executive officer. A pause. And I will remain actively involved in strategic advisory. Phones lit up everywhere. The narrative shifted in real time. Inside a private office upstairs, Elena watched the broadcast calmly. No smile. No celebration. Just confirmation. You adapted, she said quietly into the silent phone. Outside, Daniel finished his statement with steady composure. This company was never about one person. The market stabilized further. Analysts revised headlines. At 9:26 a.m., the transition was complete. And this time, it was about power understood.